or upload it onto the Drive.
All right.
I need to people that can figure it out. Thanks. Eventually.
Since we're recording, I'm gonna turn the music down so you can hear me better. So what we're going over today is really important. Is we're gonna refresh your memory on all the isolations and stuff, and this is always good. And we're working on natural turn in particular. And there's some rotation with your head going on, which is unusual from reverse turn. Like in reverse turn, you can just hold your head in one position, looking to the left. For natural turn, I would like to introduce you to something else, and that's going to be for leaders, really important. For followers, you can kind of play with it and do it sometimes, but not all the time. So there's going to be like a style kind of thing. First is build your posture, get your frame. So we're going to use, I will show you very quick with how you can work with the stick. I'll grab it, I'll show you. So head, frame, make sure that you keep looking forward, lock your frame to the bottom of your body, your hips and your toes, and toes and nose. Now, if you can have it for a second, I'll show you the exercise, which is very good. You have the stick like this. You press it against your chest. It's actually the top of your ribcage right here. And you put your wrist like this on it. So what does it do? First of all, it keeps your arms parallel, so you spread your elbows as far away from each other as you can, so it's a really wide position. Now, see what happens with my chest. I push it, I project it forward, and I push my wrist in. So this is how the stick is nicely staying in my arms like that. I can do my isolation exercises, swaying, whatever am I doing. My position does not change on top. If I will lose this projection of my chest forward just for a little bit, what happens? So it helps you to have that position, to practice that position, which you have to have all the time. So you're not sinking, you're not changing, not losing. So you can disinfect it and use it again. So this is just something fun to practice, and then like really not letting you do anything. You will want to, but then you will lose it. So that's something very helpful. Now let's go back, since we don't have so much time, for natural turn. If you can be behind me, please, because we're gonna start forward. We're gonna do one step at a time and see what's going on. Have we worked on natural turn last time? Yeah, we did.
I don't remember. I don't know the last Viennese lesson.
I don't remember either. I think that was something with arms and all this. It's good. Natural turn. You need to be always under turning. Like when you have measure 1, 2, 3, you start facing line of dance. You go 1, 2, 3. You're supposed to make the half turn, right? This is half right turn. But I'm asking you under turn it and on diagonal wall right now, not here, so slightly under turn, because I will have that moment at the end of 3 when I'm going to flex my knees. I'm going to continue rotating my frame. That's the same for reverse. So under turn, and there's that range. I can feel in when I'm flexing my knees, and that's how it's going to look like my frame is consistently rotating. So and then if I go to the second half, or 1, 2, 3, again, not line of dance, slightly under turn. and then at the end of 3, finishing up. 1, 2, 3, and finish. 1, 2, 3, and finish. So that is with what's going on with your alignments. Now, please, no foot right, no popping, because this is crazy. And it's fast and it's not going to do anything good. I said it before, I'm going to repeat that this is happening in your hips. So this is your exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Remember, there's a sumo wrestler on the bottom and beautiful ballerina stretched out nicely on top. Plus that projection of your chest forward and the head weight back. So we have that stretch going on and the hip is going bend. It's bending backwards. Remember, the back of your head and your tailbone will be in the same line. Make sure it's not here. That's not pretty. Same line. And then straight the hip. Unfold it and then fold it back. This is where the rise coming from, not from your feet. Remember. Then, first step, we have forward with minimum rotation in your frame. Minimum. So you're gonna go 1 on, and as you're transferring your weight, you're going to rotate your frame. Remember, you can have an image of scooping with your left side. And 1, and second step, forward 2. Weight is between feet. Head is still looking the same direction. 45 to the left. I'm going to keep it there and keep the angle. 3, going to continue swaying and drag my right foot underneath. Now almost looking at the ceiling. And then at the end of it, just when I'm closing my foot, my right foot to my left, I'm going to turn my head. Remember how head is turning. Flat. No tilting. Because you have sway, it looks like I'm looking up, but I'm not tilting my head. The angles are staying. 2, 3, and turn head after. Yeah, you don't need it. You can play with it later when we're already dancing. So again, we have 1 minimum rotation. And 2, still going to the wall. 3, still the same direction. And I'm going to turn my head and I'm going to flex my knees. Finish that rotation. Yep. 1 big scoop. 1 and 2, 3, turn ahead. All right, second half. Second half is different. So what I need you to do is, if you're looking at that corner where that ballet bar is, you will keep looking at it and turn your frame, your body underneath your head. If you just can watch for 1 second. 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. This is what's going on. I'm turning my body underneath my head. I'm not changing my head position. So let's try that. If you can open your arms maybe and look to the corner and just rotate your frame. It doesn't matter what you're doing with your feet. Just turn underneath your head. Keep looking at the same exact position and come back. And turn and come back. So head is, it looks like I'm changing my position, but I keep looking at the same corner, so I didn't. I changed my body position. So that's your second half. So you go 1, 2, 3. Then continue going back to, but we're going to repeat it. We're going to keep doing that also. My chin is pointed down to my left elbow now. I'm going to keep it that way on 1. Rotate, keep it that way on 2, 3. Finally turn. And then I'm going to keep looking at that corner, turn my body underneath my frame. 2, 3. And continue. Oh, one, keep looking to the left, turn. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Oh, one, keep looking to the left, looking up now, turn. Oh, one, rotate one frame underneath. That make sense? Good. Now let's try to put it together like we're not going to stop anywhere. And try to apply that lights of unity. But sinking back in. Continuous rotation of the frame plus that head position. So for leaders, that's a very cool thing to do. And if you see the leaders, they would go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. They would turn it every single time. For follower, you don't have to. You can sometimes, so you can keep your head to the left. You would go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I want to turn one time, so I will. So this is going to be optional. Okay, let's try. So you can see what can you do with this. See, that is my point. The chest positioning. Ready? And 1, 2, 3. Turn head. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn. 1, 2, 3. Okay, not bad. Do you have any questions here? Hurts?
Oh no, I just keep looking and I thought that's what I'm trying to get better about.
And I'll feel it. I'm feeling it. Because I'm hurting. Sway. Let's talk about sway again. Because we're not swaying enough. From what I can see. Remember that we're rolling through the feet. Why? Because we have rotation. We have like different levels, different parts of your body rotating. My feet, which I glue my shoes to the floor and try to rotate them, and I can't. So I will be having just that roll through. My knees would swing from side to side because of that. My hips will be rotating, but in this dimension, like in this plate, they will stay here. They're not going to turn around my spine. So if I have a wall here and right behind me, another wall, so I will be rotating my hips like this. I will be staying in that aisle. So I'm not going to do this, because if I have a wall behind me, I cannot do that, right? So make sure that you have two handles here. That's how your hips going. And your chest finally, the center of rotation coming through your sternum, like through your chest. And you rotate also, kind of matching to your hips. Like I said before, you can practice that separately, each part. But when you dance, they all dance in together. So you start in your feet, and then you're gonna continue with your hips and chest. Head does not change the position. Make sure you're not tilting, you're gonna hurt yourself. Your question?
Yeah, so like I know we talked about like you're looking up and swaying that way. So is the sway created from the hips? Because I feel like I'm collapsing
From the feet.
From the
It goes feet, legs, hips, obviously catching up with it on the chest. Yes, and you try to keep your both sides long, so there's no compression, because that's always like something we don't do in smooth. We have that position. Feels like I want to crunch this side. No, I'm trying to keep it as long as I possibly can. Yeah, both knees the same direction. Now, I also would like to talk, I don't remember if I ever mentioned that, but for the rotation, for the turn, which is important, very important here in particular, I would like you to do, imagine your shin bone, like just acknowledge where it is, the shin bone, the femur bone, right? Rotate them, turn them. The whole entire leg is turning. If your hips turning, that's fine. So you can rotate it when there's no weight, right? No weight. And other one too, try other one. Just be aware of what we're talking about. So shin bone, femur bone. Then you can do the same thing, same rotation on the standing leg. Let's try that. And try to kind of concentrate on what's happening with the weight. What's happening with the foot when you rotate. It's rolling. Rolling, so outside edge, inside edge, right? Or other one. Yeah? Now, the exercise will be rotate, you can slightly go up. Rotate both legs, but I'm thinking my bones, right? My bones. Place my foot and keep rotating my bones and I'll close it. And I'm just gonna go from side to side. But concentrate on your legs, on the bones and how you have that roll through the feet. Roll through the feet. Yes. See, your feet are taking your hips with you because they connected. So if you're not trying to push your hips and do anything extra with them, you just leave them alone. You're rotating your legs like this. Hips will go with. And then you can start swinging a little bit more and catch up with the rib cage, so that's your sway. But it starts in your feet. Now, if you go into your Viennese waltz again, we go 1 or waltz, Viennese waltz right now since we're doing it. I'm gonna start rotation in my feet, and my legs, hips, and then chest, and finally I'm swaying, right? Try to feel that connection, not because you're just turning on top. Start from the floor. Yeah, see the moment when you rotate the bone, you roll on the inside edge of your foot. Place the foot, take the weight. See, this is what's happening. Rotation in your legs as well. Very important. So you don't have this. Yeah, that is bad. It's hard to get out of there. Unless we jump. That's why we're jumping. So don't jump. Roll through. See, I'm taking from inside edge of my left foot to inside edge of my right foot, rolling through. And it's comfortable. If I go here, 1, that is very uncomfortable. Make sense? So let's try with music, with slow music. Just the right turns. With turning the head, just let's practice that turn of the head because that's a good exercise. Where was my slow? Where is it? Oh, there you go. Also would like you guys to try to engage that body flight. Remember where's the engine in your body for smooth. Here. This is where you generate the power. Where's the steering wheel? Because it's so heavy and it takes you where you want. Legs not doing anything, they stop swerving. Don't overuse the legs. Stay strong and stay flexible and soft at the same time to support this whole thing. But fly here. Okay? without partner. Very good. So you free. You develop that body flight. But again, important. The aim and the power is here. Because if I'm going from my legs, now if my legs are the engine, right? If it's here, that's the power. Very good. And when we can feel it and do it, kind of being so elevated. Okay. Okay. So this is what is very important to do without partner. Because when we have someone to hold on to, that's important. There are two people now trying to be in sync. When you're by yourself, you can practice things like this. Okay, let's switch to something. That was a natural term which I wanted to explain to you for so long.
I just feel uncoordinated, like I'm doing this and this and this, like all like.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying it's like, oh, it's easy, not easy, like, no. It is. You need to organize yourself first. What's turning where? So you understand. Muy fácil. Okay, Samba. Did we have your routine last time, last semester?
Don't know. I thought so, like mixing up with basic stuff.
So if we have routine, you can keep practicing that routine, or if the sequence going to be different here, that's going to be your routine as well. Again, since I'm going, this is the first set of all the dances this semester. I'm just going over important components of the dance, like important details and steps. So Samba is pulsing. So let's engage your feet, knees, with the hips and the core. Now, how to easier engage it with your core? Remember those centers? So they're not all over the place. They actually kind of go in, out, in, out. They can go diagonally away from each other. Continue to circle rotation, come back and go to other diagonal. So that is going to be your side step, right? So go from side to side. And keep pulsing. Let's have to get into that mood. Next thing important in Samba. Compression into the floor and then circular. One, two. Compression into the floor. Let's go on one knee first. So there's no goal to rotate the knee really like this in a circle. This is kind of like your knee is staying still on the inside. Okay. So you don't want to push yourself, yes. And your hip is following that, so you can have a circle motion in the hip. And other. The compression helps you to get out. It's like spring, we're working with a spring. Let's go from side to side. Okay, the next important thing is ankles and feet. Very strong, right? So we have this going on, the heels going up. So you can go to the ball of your foot. Samba basic. We've used that one. I would like to go with that and whisk. And with other group, I only did those two and bachata for fun at the end. This one.
Oh, wow.
Oh, just like, you know, we're doing
I've
the same
seen it.
thing
I've never
over and
learned it.
over. So
Yeah.
we can do the same thing, and whatever sequence you have from previous lesson, you can just have this little section going on as well. So let's review that stationary samba basic. What is important? On A, obviously that's when you're not going up. See, that's a mistake. Up, you're not popping up. We're getting our heels up. We're going on in the position ball. The hips can be going more forward. There's compression. The center is coming in. Heels going up. Up. If you go forward or if you go sideways, it doesn't matter. So the heels coming up. That's beginning. Let's point your right foot back. And go ah. That's the beginning of the step. Ah. You'll also swing your knees slightly to the left. Ah. Stop. Now change weight. 1. My knees swinging slightly. It doesn't have to be huge, but I'm sending them to the left, and then when I change my weight, it must be right. Kind of all happens underneath my rib cage. Has to be 1. Next thing is I'm going to push my left foot back, and at the same time, my front heel is going up. So this is 2 heels up, 2 straight knees up. I'm going to come back to the front foot, and I'm going to rotate my hips, leaving them in that position where they were. And just rotate them away from the swinging leg, from the front leg. Everything repeats. Change. Push your right foot back. 2 toes, 2 straight legs. Replace weight back to front foot, open here. Make sure you're not doing this. It's staying up there. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Also, what helps is when you're placing your weight, we're using that compression, that's your circle motion that rolls through, so that works like a spring that helps you to get out of that position. So, okay, slowly. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Yes, split weight on arm and then replace weight. Just place your heel down and rotate your hip away from it. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. Let's try to do every other beat. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, and up to the tempo. 1, 2. 1. You already, and that's slow music.
I know. It's not a dance. Or
All
Samba,
right.
sorry.
What did you do in Jack?
Sorry. It's a Samba. I know that.
Yeah.
Is this still up, but like, when you said don't split and don't go like.
Always. This is your spine. That's your center. Think of the front foot. But you don't need to lean forward because your head is still up. You still kind of have the idea of what we talked about in Viennese waltz. Chest projected forward, head way back. So you have the same idea. But it's over front foot. You can lift your foot, you'll be steady. Looks like you're leaning way forward like crazy. No, we actually did two other walks also. We'll go over that as well. Whisk. Doing whisk, I would like you to remember this moment that you lock the knee before you take weight on the foot. So let's just practice that for a second. So you would have still. You will push your foot to the side and you will lock your knee before you take weight on the foot. And one. Now you arrive here what the other leg is doing, other foot. Make sure it's straight, the knee is locked, it's being pulled up. Remember how you can rotate the bones? You rotate it, whole entire leg. Remember that breaking ankle, it's all working, it's all still here. It didn't go anywhere. So you have, and lock me, let's shoot it. Up. One. And when I'm riding on my foot, that's what I'm demonstrating that 3D leg here. One. In. I broke the ankle in. This is kind of like what we just did, but very tiny. It's right behind. It's not going to go far. It's just right here. But two straight legs. And you're going to open your hips and then close them back. Two. I'll go sideways so you can see. Two. So up here, don't do anything. And turn your shoulders and kick them forward. And repeat and shoot. One. And you right and rotate. Break the ankle in. Two. One. 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 In. Two. Okay. Then any questions here? Keep that compression going. And let's go over, I'm not going to cruise out like those walking steps, just walking. Just walking to refresh your memory, that's an important one. I'll do it sideways, so let's go that way. Point your right foot. Go in. That's like the first one, in. And then shoot. Lock your knee before you go and arrive on it. One. Now, what's going on with hips here? One. Rotation, right? Rotating my hip. But make sure that you're not bringing them underneath your ribcage over here. They stay in the same position where you were here. Arrive and rotate. Now, don't stop there, just continuous motion. In, arrive, and lock the knee. One, and one, and one, and one, and two, and three, and one, and two. Stop. Shift the whole spine forward, runner, more. Yes, you should feel free to let go move forward. And your back leg, that's the anchor. Not gonna let you fall forward when it's stretching back. Remember another thing, yawning. Two-way stretch, right? The perfect example. One arm is going one direction, another one going opposite. So that's you're yawning here with your legs. One leg is going this way, another one is stretching opposite direction. That keeps you solid, like keep you balanced. Try to get that feeling. Let's go that way now. With your right foot, back. Go in. Lock the knee. One, yawning here. and up. One, and getting two-way stretch. Stretch the back more, the back leg, the right leg more backwards.
Up more back.
Yeah, it's like something is pulling you. Yes, look at that position, very strong, nice. Yes, and one, and one. Continue a little bit faster, and lock your knee, right on the foot, one, and one, and one, and two, and three, and four. Okay. So what do we have so far? Let's combine those two things. We're gonna go stationary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, walk forward 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just do that much, and then I'll show you a little bit of what to color for practice, just for fun.
Yeah.
Not syllabus, but you know, spice it up.
Definitely
cherry on
fun.
top.
Yeah.
Okay. One. Two. Here that the hip is looking, turning away from the standing leg. Yanning. Two-way straight. 1. 2. 3. 4, let's my count. 5. Okay, 6, doesn't matter. 7, 8. Now to the side. Shoot. 1. Rotation. Nice leg. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Walking forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Don't lose the posture. Make sure that the projector. Keep this thing. Don't take this. Just one time without me. Stationary Samba walk. Ready? And 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We walk 1, 2, 3, 4. If you have enough space, you can do another 4. Let's stick with 4 now, but that's a cut. Let's just see what's happening. I would like you to create the right shape in your body first. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna place one foot behind, like that. Bring the other one on the ball of your foot, the front one. Your hips will be turned, but not the top. You've got a twisted position. Now I really want a nice projection of your rib cage forward. Forward. And switch. We're gonna keep walking back and switch and create those shapes. We can all I want to see us, right? So we go back and back. That will be a shape. Try to remember. 1, 2. Next thing. Go 1 and then put a little bit of pressure on the ball of your front foot. Don't put your heel down. And use that pressure to send your foot back. And get into that shape again. Back leg is straight, front is back. With pressure, push. Pressure, push. And turn your hips. Turn your hips. Turn your hips. More you're pushing your rib cage forward and projecting to what position is. Alright, so now that was all should make this it's going into your hip. So try to make a circle with your hip. Always have a compression in your side. So let's try that motion. Pushing your hip forward and up. And you can relax the back knee a little bit. Pressure. Here. Okay. Now let's do this one. With pressure on the ball of your foot and try to make a circle with the hip. Compression. Compression. To your left side now. And pressure. Switch. 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 Shake. 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 To the tempo. Slow. 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 Fast. 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 Slow. Slow. Fast. Fast. Look at the focus. Let's just go on. Really? So what you can do is this. You can do it up to your 4 steps forward. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fast. So you can do it slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. Let's do that. I like that. Slow. Let's try to do the whole thing. So we have 8 counts of stationary, basic, then we have twist, then we have some walk forward, and then cherry on top. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A twist. Okay. Questions, complaints, concerns, suggestions.
This is a video of you doing the last thing. Well,
Oh, you can, yes.
no, on my phone. Just this. Just the last thing, so I can
Which
practice.
sideways, forward, back.
Oh. Maybe back. So I can, yeah. So I can just follow it.
Right.
Just a second. Okay, yeah, got it. Yep.
There you go, slow. Fast. Slow.
Great, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Unless you have some questions, we can be done for today. Thank you guys. If someone is there, good luck with Bachata.
Yeah, good luck indeed. Yes, I've got video. I don't even know what to ask questions about yet. So once I watch it.
Yeah.
When you're doing, talking about like opening the next to the shoulder, open with it or no?
Now that's a good question. So your shoulders, it's like one separate block of weight. What is going with your hips is rib cage, but not the shoulders. So see, that is the problem because they're so close and they're so connected, so they kind of want to go all together. But yes, you're turning the rib cage, but you're trying to put your shoulders straight forward. They actually roll back, squeeze, up and back and down.
also seems like there's more room between your two legs when you're in that position. I don't know.
You just need to lock your back one because it's like it looks at least looks like it's slightly.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was.
It looks weird.
Okay.
Don't push it back because you can hurt yourself. Pull it up.
Yeah, shift the thing.
Yeah, pull it up. Just start with those shapes because you need to know
Yeah.
where you're arriving.
Yeah.
That's how I will do that, and then fill it in with the other things. Okay, so that's a little basic again, plus what to kind of just for development. Okay, thank you. And you can let me know, Rana, what you want to do because the second step of everything begins next week.
Yeah.
So if you want more.